I don't know what screen to look at, guys. It's crazy. Um, yeah, Shorty's on Twitter as well, so I'm gonna put a little tweet out to say I'm live. So just give me one moment, guys. I'll just do a couple of bits and pieces on the admin side of things, and then we'll be back with a few questions. And I'll just rotate it. I'll probably do, more so on YouTube because I the last half hour, half hour on TikTok. Struggling to do a lot of things at once here. Absolute technology overload. Oh, that's not the link I wanted. That ain't it. Yeah, let me know too if you've come across me straight from YouTube or if you just found me on TikTok. I would love to know if there's a few new fans. Just jump on board from the TikTok. That works. We'll post that there. I'm also part of the SuperCoach 360 page, AFL SuperCoach 360. So if you haven't got around them, would love you to go and give them a little bit of a like. So um, appreciate that. So yeah, just one moment, guys, on YouTube, just posting a few bits and pieces. If you're wondering what the absolute chaos is, Shorty is live on TikTok and on YouTube at the moment. So we're going crazy tonight. Yep, let's do it. Jacob says Jordan Ridley. Hayden Young last year or not, mate, but I would prefer Hayden Young. Just reckon I just still not 100% sold on how Ridley's going to go over the long term. I still don't think he's got that ceiling. Still don't think he's got that ceiling. YouTube, what's going on, guys? How are you? Shorty is back for another live session. And Amusement Productions is the first one. Oh, you love to see it. What's going on, mate? How are you? Let me know if the audio is coming through nice and crisp. Um, Amusement says after having Stewart, Jones, Cherry, and Vital, who was announced out today. Oh shit, didn't know that. I'm in need of this shorty date night. Jesus, I didn't know Vital was out. That's just savage, man. That is brutal. Um, Gesso, shorty's like a melody in my head. Jesus. Oh, these guys. Jesus. Amusement says, "Do you have a map?" I just got lost in your eyes. These guys, I'm telling you, we got a couple of clowns, and I've got a feeling a few of you guys from TikTok come straight over onto YouTube because the numbers are telling me precisely that. Um, so happy to see you. We'll probably might roll the TikTok till like 8:30, and just really dive into the YouTube. But Scale, what's going on, mate? Scale Modeling, how are you? Brad, what's going on, mate? How are you? Good to see you. Amusement, what's the difference between your rank and how many turned up at the first goal kicking challenge? Hey, but the second goal kicking challenge, mate, you got to respect that. We got a few people there. Those Joey's boys, they got around me. Lachlan Peters, Liam Jones, and Madden of GWS to Tom Cole and Comden. Yeah, he went all right, didn't he, Charlie? 23. Yeah, look, it's actually not bad. If we can get a scoring R3, it's not the worst. I don't know if he's going to have as sexy as a role though, because obviously Cherry allowed him to do a bit of rucking and he scored 83. So maybe hold, but think think with Jones, I'm just looking to just hold fire for the moment, just see if he gets named, see what we get from guys like Cole, like Stocker. I'd happily give it just another week. um, just to see what's going on. We've got Lordy. Does Shorty stream somewhere else? Yes, I do. I do. Just first time tonight on TikTok. So Shorty SuperCoach TikTok. Uh, feel free. Feel free to get around it. I'm still live. I'm live on both. So if I'm looking at two different things, you know why. James, g'day, Shorty. How's it going? Good, mate. How are you? Just finished work, hit the gym. Hope you're going well, mate. G Money, good old Collingwood forever. Yeah, mate. I was there Friday night and it hurt. I'll be there Thursday night too. Should be a good game. Cats Geelong, MCG. Oh, Cats Carlton. Jeez. Um, should be very interesting. Um, Anthony, what's going on, mate? What's happening? Shortstop. Can I borrow some of your trades? You're struggling, mate. Oh, you and me both. I've got about 4 or 5. I've got Cunnington, Bruin, Jones. What's Hopper doing? Asai Wanganeen Malira, Stewart. Gee whiz, mate. It has been a rough start. Absolute rough start to the year. I don't really like Cheese. That's some sort of a name. His role seemed pretty similar to last year, in my opinion. I don't know who that was referring to, but thank you for your input nonetheless. Foxy's a duckhead. Some of these names crack me up, I'd say. Hey, Shorty, Sheasel for Flanders this week or wait another week? Um, Look, you gotta get Sheasel in at some stage. I would say if you separate those two, I'd say you've got to give Flanders another week. But I didn't really like Flanders in the first place, and you got to have Sheasel. So take your pick. It's you got to get Sheasel in either this week or next. So you can be the judge on that one. Brad is back. Should I move Will Phillips to M8, trade Hopper for Hewland, and move Bruin to Goulden? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't trade him. I wouldn't trade Hopper, mate. I think he'll bounce back. I understand in terms of like Will Phillips is great. It looked really good. I mean, he was barely playing. He just got in. So I would hold off on that. I would give Bruin another week. I would give Hopper another week, and that could be a round 2 trade. But for now, I'm just gonna hold it. We would need to see a bit from Hopper and Bruin. Just on the old TikTok, we've got Oliver says thoughts on Matty Rowell. It's pretty awkward. Awkward price, mate. 480. He scored 119. Like we know he can play, but I don't think he's cheap enough. I think there's better options almost 100K south of him. So I'd be holding off on that, mate. I still don't think Matty Rowell's a guy that we can absolutely back in at that sort of a price. It's just a bit awkward. Jackson's wondering what we do with Kelly and Fife. Fife, I didn't really like him at the start of the year, and I hate that role. I hate him in the forward line. I would probably trade Fife. If you're committed all year, then all preseason, I mean, you probably deserve to give him 2 weeks, but it was a struggle. Um, and then in terms of Josh Kelly, probably gonna have to assess the concussion, mate. I'd take it he's missing this week with the protocols. Uh, I don't know. I Part of me says trade him because we got so many trades, so why not? But also part of me, the old school part of me says back in your premium. So I lean more towards trading him just with concussion. You never know how long that can be. I'd hate for you to hold him and then he misses 1, 2, maybe 3, or doesn't come back as quite the player he was. But it's awkward. There's nothing worse than having to think about trading our premiums after 1 week. Keep a big watch on Goulden though, because I'll definitely, just in reference to Brad's question there, he could be a guy we have to get in a week or so. Pretzel, do I jump on Hall Francis this round or Tom Green, then get Cogs and Chandler next week? Yeah, I don't mind the forward planning, mate. I think you're definitely going to have Green. He looked fantastic. He's sort of a discounted premium. Cornelio, he has to come in at some stage in the year. When that is, we'll wait and see. But I wouldn't get carried away with getting Chandler in this week. Let's not forget he's a first game. He played well. There's nothing stopping him from scoring 32 next week. So I'd wait and see, but I would definitely all your cash cows this week. Like guys like Horn Francis, I think we got to see it one more time. We got to see it 2 weeks in a row. Just you don't want to trade guys in off the back of one good week, even though I believe in Horn Francis a fair bit. So just going to top the old water up here, not spill it over me pillow like I fucking did last week. Ugh. That was seemingly more awkward than it needed to be. But for guys like Bruin, Hopper, Horn Francis, I just reckon maybe we just wait, see him do it another week, and then make a move. But definitely prioritize um, your cash cows and building those guys up because they what make the team. Lordy, as an Essendon fan, Ridley will go big, average of 105 because he takes most kick-ins and a great interceptor and user of the ball. Was that not the same last year though? What? Why has his average dropped away a bit? Because I didn't see much of a change in role this year. I'm not on board Ridley having that ceiling. I mean, he's a good, solid player, and I wouldn't argue with you too much on 105. But maybe I would argue with you. I'd probably see him more high 90s, which is still solid, but I just don't know if he's still got that ceiling anymore. Blues fan, thoughts on Day, Fife, Bruin, Goulden, Zeeble, and McKenna? Holy moly, we're gonna have to zip through those. Day, worth giving another week, was inefficient. 98 AFL fantasy, 60 Supercoach. Fife, hate the role, very likely trade out to a Horn Francis or whoever's available at the time. Bruin, give him another week. Got stranded on a wing. Parfitt coming on didn't help him. Give him another week. Goulden almost seems destined to be in everyone's side over the next couple of weeks. I'll be looking to get him in. All I need to see is another good week. Zeeble, Aaron Hall coming back. I would like to see how the dynamic works with Zeeble and Aaron Hall. A bit more hesitant on that. McKenna looks great. Seemingly played a nice role. I'd say he's a strong consider to bring into your team. But again, I wouldn't mind seeing him just do it again. But I would say he is a definite likely cash cow, or one of the best cash cows, I'd say. Quick says, "Hey, what's going on? Good to see you." I'll just see if we can grab a couple off the old TikTok. Gus, thoughts on Jones, Stewart, and Fife for Ryan, Ridley, and Sheasel? Stewart, Fife. Actually, definitely got to get Sheasel in, mate. Ryan, I wouldn't be too responsive on that. I still think he's more like a ninth or 10th, defender. I don't see him as a top six defender, but 170 was pretty impressive. And like I said on Ridley, solid, still not solid, but he's absolute top shelf premium defender. But I would definitely preference getting in Sheasel, and then you can cut it whichever way you'd like to. Other than that, um, but yeah, Oliver says no point in using a trade if you don't have to. Yeah, I mean that's true. I mean what we have to do after 2 rounds is make all the correctional trades that we need to make. If we got something wrong, then we swallow our pride, we trade them out. If we missed a cash cow, you got to go and get them. So that's what these first 2 weeks are for. If you're going to use trades, it's not a bad time to do it because we want to set our team up to have the best chance of succeeding and making as much cash as we can. Give us a thumbs up if the audio is coming through all right as well, guys. I would appreciate that. Cool. Jake's Harps, what's going on? Shorty, mate, help me out. Jelly, Bruin, Stewart, Horn, Francis, Goulden, and Young, plus 190K, also holding Liam Jones. Look, it looks a pretty good trade on paper. I am sort of encouraging giving Bruin another chance, seeing what we get from Horn Francis again. But look, it's honestly, it's hard to argue when you put it on paper like that. Liam Jones, I'm going to have to wait to see. I'd say he's a likely trade out because we want to make cash as quickly as we can. And not only could he miss a week, but this 5 is going to slow him down a little bit as well in his cash generation. So I'm really interested to see what Stocker does. Tom Cole, Connor McKenna could be a vibe. So, yeah, I don't mind that trade, when you put it out in front of me. but also I'm sitting here and I'm holding Bruin myself. So sometimes it's different teams, um, different horses for courses. Travis, hey Shorty, how was your weekend? Laird destroyed me. Hey mate, how are you? Yeah, my weekend was good. Shorty won tennis. We're into the grand final. From a super coach point of view, it was a bit frustrating. It didn't quite happen, but Laird, that would have destroyed so many, mate. I don't blame you. That's super frustrating. Um, but back him in. He'll be back. He will be back. Nesquick, do you know much about fantasy as well, or is it basically the same? Oh, I just think the only difference in scoring is it's a much simpler format, AFL fantasy, Pretty sure it's you get a kick, it's 3 points, you have a handball, it's 2 points. Doesn't really matter about your efficiency, whether you hit a target or not. I prefer the Supercoach scoring system, but yeah, they also have different. I think it's unlimited trades in fantasy, I think. So I think there's some of the main differences. Lennon, best cash cows to trade in this week. Look, you got to have Sheezel, you got to have McKenzie. Um, if you didn't have Jimby, I think you got to have them. Like, they're some of the main ones that come to mind. Trying to think of a few others. Let's have a look at my team just quickly. Even McKenna really showed that he played a really nice role. So, yeah, they're probably a few. James, Dacos or Hayden Young? That's the question, isn't it, mate? That is a good question. I'm just preferencing Hayden Young. I think Dacos probably has like a slightly higher ceiling, even though Young outscored him this week. I think he'll probably play more blitzing games and pull more Brownlow votes, but he will have games where he definitely cops a tag and scores a 70. So I don't see that happening with Hayden Young. So I'm leaning towards him. And Freo are, at this point in time, playing a pretty high possession, dare I say, a boring style of footy. But that does lend itself to plenty of kicks, plenty of marks for old mate Hayden Young. Amusement. Oh, you're a funny man. You're a funny man. Joe, guess what I'm going to ask you, Daddy? Oh, I could only imagine, Joe. I could only imagine. Bo, g'day, Shorty. I got 1963 last week. I traded Horn Francis to Sam Flanders before round one, and I traded Fife to Horn Francis this week. Yeah, gee, that hurts you. It's those little decisions, isn't it, that just makes or breaks us. But I think you've made a nice little correctional one there. Fife just, yeah, he hurt many of us. Luckily, I missed that boat, but it was a tough watch. XDH thoughts on Jack Steele? Yeah, I'm happy to hold him, mate. He wasn't like his best game of all time. Didn't tackle as much as normal actually, but no, I'd be happy to hold him. Scored 90. He'll be a quality player this year. I think the role looks the same inside mid, plenty of centre bounce. So yeah, at this stage, don't feel like there's any need to panic. Jonah McKenzie, nice hair, man. Thanks, bro. Thanks so much, Jonah. How was your Monday yesterday, Jonah? Did you pull up all right, mate? What do we got here? Tyler Ratter looked good on the weekend. Reckon he 3 votes for sure. It was nearly one of the Cats' best, mate. Jesus Christ, there wasn't too many to pick from, but he actually did look good. Intercept marked. He's never going to win heaps of the ball. No, he was really efficient. Looked strong down there. I reckon if you watched, you would have been happy with him. Jonas, trade lad. He will bleed cash and was running around like a senior citizen against Everest. Come on, Jonas, get out of here, man. You can't be trading Rory Laird, mate. Yeah, he'll lose a bit of cash, but come on, he'll still be a top 5 or top 6 midfielder. Tell me I'm wrong. Come on, let's not trade him. XDH, do you sit in the members at the G? No, I'm no MCC member, mate. No, just out in the Geelong members area. I am, but this Thursday I'll just be a general admission operator. I'll just sit wherever they put me, or wherever I choose to sit. I guess that's normally how general admission works. But Ollie, who are you putting in for Liam Jones? I don't know if I'm going to do it this week. I'll probably see what Stocker does, see what someone like Tom Cole does. Maybe Jack Bowes returns for the Cats. He could be a bit of a option as well. But yeah, at this stage, I'm probably just assessing my options, Ollie, for now. Nesquik, keep or trade Laird? You keep him. Absolutely, 100%. actually. I might even write some of these down. Just helps me to do me preview later in the week. What do we got? Led, Dacos, Young, Ridley. Um, what to do with Jones? Gee, there's no shortage of topics this week, is there, guys? Bo says thoughts. Dan Rioli as a pod. Gee, I don't know. He did look good. Don't get me wrong. Price 507. Nah, probably not, mate. Probably not. He did look good. He did, but I just probably would prefer a Hayden Young or a Dacos or a Ridley. Unless you're dying for a point of difference, I'd probably prefer others. Hamish Harding, do you know CPR? Because you just took my breath away. These clowns, I tell you, they crack me up. You got to respect it. Got to respect that, Hamish. I love that. Joe, how was the turnout at the first goal kicking video, Daniel? You know what, Joe? I actually didn't see that coming, and I probably should have. I probably should have. Dawson, oh no, Dawson Orion, from a man whose symbol seems to be a whale or a fish. I don't even know what that is, bro. But um, I'd go Jordan Dawson for sure, mate. I think he'll be a top 4 defender. And as good as Luke Ryan was on the weekend, I still don't see him as a top 8 defender. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm crazy. I see him averaging mid 90s, and I don't think that'll be top 8. So, but yeah, thank you for the question, mate. Appreciate that. Come to Melbourne for a kick. Oh, one Sunday, I'm telling you I will. When I can sort my life out, school holidays. There you go. School holidays, I'll have a bit of time on my hands, and I'll do it. I'll do it. Amusement. Geelong lost. Haha. Couldn't imagine losing. My team does not lose. They lost. Yeah, you dogs, mate. They put in a stinker, bro. Now they were okay for a little bit, but gee, the D's really powered away there. Geno says, is Hopper a trade? Nah, mate, I'd hold him. I'm backing him for 90 plus this week. I'm backing him in. The role was okay, but it definitely wasn't his day. Didn't use the ball well. Ollie says, winner and margin for Thursday night. I'm going to tip the Cats, but I think on my tipping, I did it by like 12 points. So, yeah. Lordy. Oh, and by the way, the Cats released an injury report, and it sounds like Stewart's out for 1 to 2. Are you serious, bro? Surely not. Surely not. Don't make this awkward on me. I was. Um. Yeah, right. Might have to. Gee whiz, you could have some inside scoop there, mate, or be pulling my leg. I don't even know, but Bailey, shorty, how many stats you get over the off season? Oh, Bailey, it's confidential information, my friend. Certainly not for the live session consumption, but do appreciate the questions of the saucy variety. Jonas, hey, short stick, how many Trump pops does it take to change a light bulb? Who knows? They are all still in the dark. Uh, that's good from you, mate. That's good from you. Keep them coming. Big thumper. What do you think about jumping on Horn Francis? I've got 460K left if I trade Jones. I wouldn't mind seeing him do it again. I wouldn't mind just seeing what he's got one more week, but I would say he's a very likely trade. I mean, I think it's likely that Horn Francis and Goulden are in a lot of teams after this week or next. So whether you do it now or the week after, just sometimes it can um, eliminate some risk by holding off a week. Because who's to say that Bruin doesn't score 120 this week and Horn Francis scores 68? You know what I mean? So it's just 1 week. So that's sometimes it can mitigate a bit of your risk by holding off. But Horn Francis did look great. Jeremy, who would you rather recommend, Sicily and Ja Jason Horn Francis or Ridley and Goulden? That's a tough one. Of the 2, I'd probably go Ridley and Goulden because I think you're probably gonna be able to keep them for the whole year. Even though they're probably F6, D5, D6 operators, you probably could keep them all where Horn Francis, as good as he was, don't think you're gonna hold him all year. Amusement, Finn McGuinness to tag Goulden or Warner. That's a great point, mate. Feel like Gordon is more of a damaging half or flank. Yeah, yeah, honestly, that's a really good point. watch and see. That could be another reason to just, yeah, have a look and see how that sort of affects him. Um, what about over on TikTok? Mitch, thoughts on Laird jumping back and putting VC on him into Tommy Green? Don't mind that. Don't mind at all. Definitely hold Laird. Some people talking about trading him. Come on, man. Definitely hold him. Definitely hold him. Talking AFL, I've got Stewart and Yo. Who do I choose to replace him? What do you got Elliot Yo for, mate? He didn't even play round 1. Oh, you're killing me. Um, Tommy Stewart, I'd either go this way, mate. I'd go either Dawson, Docherty, or Sicily, or you go Hayden Young or Dacos or Ridley if that floats your boat. And in terms of Yo, that's a tricky one. If you've got enough cash to go, oh, that probably won't work. Yo's a tough one because he's so awkward. You could almost downgrade him from McKenna or hold him and see what Jack Bowes does in return. But yeah, having Yo is an awkward one. It's an awkward one, mate. Max reckons Hall and Francis are locked to score 110 again this week. I wouldn't mind that. Good for me SuperCoach draft team. Hey, do you reckon I should trade Liam Jones out this week for McKenna and then trade Fergus Green for Sheasel or save the trades? I'd save him for now. I'd save him for now, mate. I'd just wait and see what the teams bring us. I think McKenna looks like a very likely inclusion, and you gotta find a way to get Sheasel in. Look, I think Fergus Green will make us some money. He'll have better days than he did the other week, but you gotta get Sheasel in. So if that's your only option, then it might be the guy, but we just can't afford to miss these cash cows. So if McKenna and Sheasel aren't in your team, you probably gotta find a way to do it. Joshy Pollock led to LDU and save the cash or too early to call? No, mate, hold, 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 hold. LDU is great, but let's not trade Rory Laird out. Come on, the bloke's a superstar. He had a bad week. He had a shocking week, and he hurts us. Yeah, it hurt, I'm sorry, but hold him. Hold him. He'll still be a top 5 midfielder come end of year. If he doesn't average 115 plus, surely he'll buy you all dinner. Come on. That could be an expensive comment. Michael, what do you think of my trades? Out Jones and Hopper, in Rampy and Callahan. Look, I don't like it, Michael. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm backing in Hopper. I think he's a hold. I understand trading Jones, but Rampy, not for me. Not for me, mate. I think Rampy's come out and had a good week, and that's great. But if we look at his scores and averages, the bloke's 32, nearly 33, scores 150 on the weekend. Awesome. Last 6 odd years averages 60, 78. So that's concerning, the last 2, and then 91, 97 the year before that. So a good couple of years there, but the bloke hasn't averaged over 80 in 2 years. So I don't see why that would change when he's 32. I don't think there's been a role change. I think it's just a good week. So I wouldn't get carried away with that. I don't yeah, I would probably hold that, mate. I'd keep Hopper. I'd keep him. Nick, your thoughts on which of these youngsters may be out with May, Fritsch, Salem, and Viney coming back this week? Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, you would have to think Laurie and McVee. I know they're not exactly like for like. For Salem and McVee, you would probably think Laurie. I don't know who else they might change. You'd think they would reward Chandler. There might be some stiff players, but um, that's probably another concerning thing with Chandler as well. Like, as good as he was, what's his job security like? Thanks to everyone who's jumped on board as well, whether it's on YouTube or it's on TikTok. I'll, uh, I'll probably wind the TikTok up, relatively soon. Um, but yeah, let me know if you think this worked. We're doing live on YouTube, live on TikTok. If you're enjoying the live session, you don't wanna leave it, you can come on over to the TikTok, sorry, to the YouTube, and we can keep the questions going. And yeah, I'll just play around with how we do this. It'll either be Tuesday or Wednesday nights. So yeah, thanks for jumping on board. We've got Zab there. My trades this week: Hopper, Jones, and Bruin for Chandler, Dacos, and Finn Callahan. Oh, gee, I wouldn't mind you keeping the faith in Hopper for sure, mate. And give Bruin another week, mate. Give him another week. And like I just mentioned on the YouTube, Chandler, is his job security a little iffy? Something to think about. I like most of the guys he brought in, but just wondered if you could give a couple of them another week. Talking AFL, is your ruck combo at the moment. I've got Marshall in English, very happy with it. Almost didn't change throughout the preseason, so, um, I was pretty happy with how they played on the weekend too. Charlie's asking trade Will Day. No, I'd hold him. I think, he scored like 98 in AFL fantasy, so he obviously didn't use the ball very well, I'm guessing. I didn't see that game, I was at tennis, mate, but, I'd say you give him another week, and that's what I'm saying for most of these guys like Bruin and Hopper. Come on, we researched them all pre-season. We can't trade them out after 1 week, can we? Will Day won plenty of the ball. Give him another chance. Give him another chance. Um, and in terms of, Finn Callahan, I've had a few people mention him, including Ollie and a couple on the YouTube. 244K, super talent, as we know, came out and scored 101. You've gotta love that. Um, 25 touches. So, yeah, look, he's a bloke that, again, I'd be happy to just let him go for another week. It all depends on your own circumstance. If you're missing Sheasel and you're missing McKenzie or McKenna, if you're looking at your team and saying, "I probably need to make 5 or 6 trades," then you might pull the trigger on a couple of trades this week. But for me, I'm probably like, I'm happy to see a few guys go around this week. Can they back it up? Because Bruin and Hopper can respond. There's nothing to say that they can't come out and score 100. And this time next week, we're sitting here going, Jesus, Horn Francis scored 71. What's going on? And Callahan came out and scored 46. You know what I mean? It can change quickly. So something to keep in mind. Moving back over to the YouTube guys. Christopher, what's going on, mate? Hey, Shorty. Feeling for your team just as much as mine. What I will say is if the Hornet goes again, we need to find a way to sneak him in. You're spot on there, mate. Tell you what, there's a few guys we might need to find a way to fit in. That trade boost button is gonna cop an absolute pounding. I think, I'll be certainly using it, whether it's this week or next, so stay tuned for that. But thanks for the question, mate. Amusement, did you know that grass is green? This is the stuff he brings to it, mate. It's insights like that that he just brings along. Angeline, I just heard Sheasel has a foot issue, 50-50 to play this week. Wait for the teams to drop, mate. Come on. I was having such a good day. You had to drop that. The Sheasel going down. Come on, man. I'm gonna just pretend I didn't read that. That's brutal. I hope not. I hope not. Robert Lawrence, thoughts on Callahan? Worth picking him up this week. I just mentioned him then, so hopefully you caught that. Happy to wait and see what he does this week, but he's a strong consider. Just assess your trade schedule, your trade thoughts over not just this week, but next. But I'm probably going to let him run around again, see what he does, and then go from there. Connor, thoughts on Setterfield's potential? Attended 74% of centre bounces against the Hawks. I think he's a lock to just average in the 90s, which is a pretty impressive effort from him. So he's in that category of Warpool, um, Setterfield, obviously, and probably Horn Francis, a little bit more expensive. So is Tom Sheed. So, yeah, I think he's pretty reliable, I'd say. So if you got him, you're doing all right. I wouldn't go out of my way to get him, but, certainly I think he was, very, very solid. Nesquik led to LDU and Miller today. Switch up positions or Dunkley to Tom Green. Dunkley to Tom Green. Come on, Nesquik, mate. What are we doing here, brother? All right, you keep Laird, you keep Dunkley, and you give, you don't have all that. Yeah, look, keep Dunkley, mate. Holy moly, and keep Laird. They're superstars. They're superstars. Thanks, Lordy. Jesse, hey, daddy, missed you. Jesse, mate, when am I coming around for dinner, bro? I was told I was going to have dinner. Benny, remember me, shorty? Up those Stainers, of course I do, mate. I remember my live attenders, mate. I don't forget these names. The absolute community. Um, you would have been very happy with the Saints. Very happy. Lordy, what do you think, shorty? Out, Stewart, Cunnington, Wanganeen, Malira. If you brought Malira in on my thoughts, my deepest apologies. For Dacos, Horn Francis, and Goulden. Honestly, don't mind that at all. It sort of looks like a trade that I should do because I've got all those 3 guys, It kinda looks like a trade maybe I should do. I really like that actually, mate. That's good. I would almost go Hayden Young over Dacos, but totally get why you would go with him. So, yeah, gee, nicely done, mate. Luke, hey, shorty, just tossing up between Dacos and Ryan, worried about Dacos getting tagged this week. Yeah, see, look, here's the thing with Luke Ryan. Great first week, but has anything changed in his position, or is it just an amazing week? Because his last 2 years, 96 and 99, very, very good. So he's a good option. Don't get me wrong, I like Luke Ryan, he's a great player. But I just wonder if Hayden Young or Nick Dacos have a chance to out average him or even a Jordan Ridley. I'm not getting swept up in Luke Ryan just yet, but he is a very solid intercepting defender, so, um, but he probably falls in that category of more of like a he could be the 6th best defender coming into the year, or he could be the 12th, he's a tough one to get a read on where he sits. But I am worried about Dacos getting tagged as well. Very, very worried as well. Um, I might just do one more question on the TikTok. Who haven't I've answered a couple of you lads. Who haven't I got? I don't think Paddy's had one that's been answered. What to do with Jones and Laird? Mate, it's my last question, mate, so I appreciate all your questions. Thank you, Charlie, and I don't think I saw one from Devex. Thoughts on Luke Ryan? Oh, there you go. Hopefully, I answered that one just before for you, mate. Definitely can find the ball, and the Dockers did play in a slow style round, but Luke Ryan's probably in that similar price, similar mix to Young, Dacos, Ridley, Ryan, so take your pick. I'd probably preference Hayden Young, but take your pick. And in terms of Paddy, Jones and Laird, you keep Laird, mate, every day of the week. It's a bad week. It was a shit week, but you keep him. Absolutely keep him. He'll still be a top 5 mid. And Jones, I just wanna see if he's named. I just wanna see if he's named. I'd say it's very likely he gets traded, but let's just see. If he gets named, he could come out and score 89. All of a sudden, all's forgiven, and he could be making us cash a little bit slower, but he could still be something worth holding on to. So, Lockie, I'll snap. Come to my macaroni party and we'll make a what is that? Holy shit. Sammy boy, what's going on? Yeah, I was just saying with Jones, I would hold him, just wait and see. Um, and then I reckon there's a chance that he does come out and score. If he doesn't, maybe we correctional trade to a Liam Stocker or maybe it's Tom Cole or something like that. But for now, I just want to see. It's tough to talk about on Tuesday, but it could be Connor McKenna if he's not named. There are just a few names to think about. But I might just unbuckle that one. And this is how Shorty's rolling. Got the laptop there, and we had the old TikTok flowing as well. So um, who is the number one trade target in your opinion this week? It's hard to say exactly who, but probably if you haven't got some of the cash cows, I would prioritise them. So whichever one of those must-haves, like Sheeds or Mackenzie, maybe it's McKenna, I'd prioritise them, mate. Thanks everyone who jumped on board for the TikTok. If you would like to continue asking me a few questions, I am still going live on YouTube. And to the YouTube guys, I apologise. I'll get back to you in a moment, and you'll have my full attention. But yeah, I'll be going live either Tuesdays or Wednesdays, so I look forward to talking to you all then. Like I said, if you've just jumped on, just feel free to pop over to my YouTube channel. Same thing, Shorty SuperCoach. Um, Eddie's jumped on. I haven't got to one of his questions. Um, who would I take? Dunkley or Track? I would go Dunkley, my friend. I reckon he's a must-have, particularly in the forward line. Thanks very much, guys. I'm going to try and work out how to turn this thing off, and then I'll continue this on YouTube. So it's my first time going live, and you'd think it'd be pretty straightforward how to turn this one off, but there you go, end live. Sweet. Thanks very much, guys. Appreciate all the support. I'll talk to you soon. Nice. Sweet. Thanks, guys. I appreciate your patience because obviously I'm a bit back and forth, but um, yeah, thank you for sticking around and You now have my undivided attention. I'll try and smash out some of these questions. We'll probably go through to probably around 9 o'clock or so, depending how we get through all the questions. But yeah, again, thanks for your support. Got heaps of views on the latest review. So again, appreciate you getting around me and all your comments. And had a couple of guys come up and say g'day to me at the MCG. So that always sort of makes me day a bit to see, some of the people who watch it and they say hi. It's just it sort of makes it all worthwhile when you see that, gee, there's a few people actually, really watch it and enjoy it. So that's what I'm here for. It's all about doing the content and the SuperCoach community. So I appreciate your support. Where was I up to? Angeline, congrats, Shorty. Thanks for the content. No worries, mate. Thanks for the comment. Travis, Nesquik, don't trade dunks. Spot on, mate. I'm right there with you. Jeremy, out of these options, which one would you pick? Sicily and Horn Francis or Ridley and Goulden? I'd go the latter. And I think I had one of those just before. I might just jot that down. Seems to be a bit of a popular one. Ridley versus Goulden. Yeah, I would go the second option. I think you're probably getting two keepers as opposed to just one. Nesquik says, I kind of stuffed my team in round one. I can't really get anywhere without downgrading a premium. Gee. Look, if you do have to downgrade a premium, Nesquik, Dunkling's not the one because I think he's almost most people's first pick player. So sometimes you just got to take your medicine and hopefully we can help you out. But it's a long season. I'd hate to see you trading out Dunkley because you're just going to have to trade him back in at some stage. Ollie, Sav needs to learn when to go for the mark and when to spoil. Was extremely frustrating. And probably when to not grab onto people's jumpers as well, because a couple of times he just got a few frees against him. But I don't know if he's going to go the spoil too much. He loves to fly for the mark, which is handy in Supercoach land. So he'll be a frustrating watch, though. He will, mate. A widescreen TV. Laird will make a good M9 this season. Oh, mate, he will. He will. He'll probably make a pretty decent M1 or two as well once he bounces back. Travis is just having a chat with Ness quick there. Jeremy, out of these options, which one would you pick? I think I've answered that one, Jeremy. Ridley and Goulden would be my selection. Angeline, Laird was unwell, apparently. We didn't find out until post-match. Well, there you go. Without seeing the game, I clearly knew something was up, so maybe that was it. At first I thought he got tagged. I was like, oh, Perryman must have tagged him. Then my mate Langus was out. He goes, oh, bro, he was out in 5 minutes. I was like, okay, wasn't Perryman then. Do you think keep Laird even with a break even at 220? Absolutely. I know the break even's high, but we're not picking him to make money. We're picking him to score points, and he let us down on the weekend, but he'll make you points. He'll average 115 plus. Don't worry. Sonic, is Josh Kelly a sell this week? I'm probably leaning more towards yes, just because I'm worried about the effects of the concussion and whether he misses one or two. Wait and see what we hear from the club. I mean, see what the teams say, see what the doctors say. But concussion worries me because we've seen it like Tim English was an example last week. It was last year. It was going to be one or two, and then it turned into heaps of weeks. So I slightly lean towards selling him purely on that basis. As much as I hate telling you to trade a premium out. Widescreen TV. Why is Young so highly regarded this season? Wouldn't Luke Ryan be a better choice? Yeah, look, that's not a bad call, to be honest. I think there's just a bit more hype about about Hayden Young on that upward trend and maybe taking away some kick-ins from Luke Ryan and becoming more of that option, that next generation. So you're winning on both fronts. I mean, Ryan's done it for more years. It might make you feel a bit more comfortable. You might sleep better at night knowing he's done it many years on the trot. But Hayden Young, definitely a mid to high 90s averager, I would imagine. Nesquik's having a chat with Trav. We love that. Oh, gee. I tell you what. Shorty's got some questions to catch up on, I tell you. Let me try and find my spot. I'll do my best to Gee, where was I up to? Yeah, I'll do my best to catch up with all the questions. I may not get through them all at 9 o'clock. Obviously, yeah, first in, best dress kind of thing, but yeah, we'll do our best. Lockie, why is Young a valid option but not Ryan, in your opinion, due to their roles? Oh, no, it's not to say that Ryan isn't a good opinion. It's just I probably would prefer Young. I just think he's trending a bit more on the up. I think he's sort of that next generation ball user at the Dockers. It's just an opinion of mine, but Ryan clearly has the runs on the board and would be a solid pick as well. Jeremy's chucked that question through again, so we've answered that one. D-Mac, how are you, mate? Shorty is the draft expert. My mate offered me Dan Rioli for Redmond. Accept it or leave it. P.S. Good to see your face. Always good to see you, D-Mac. Offered you Dan Rioli for Redmond. I would leave it. Mate. If you got Redmond, I'd probably prefer him just. I mean, it's a much of a muchness, but no, I'd leave that one. I'd hold on to him. Trav, try supporting Lions who play one half of footy. Oh, mate. Good Lions, mate. He went over there. He went to the game. Brutal. The Shelley's been, hey, Shorty, what do you think of these trades? Flanders to Sheasel, Wanganeen Malira to Zeeble, and Jones to Stocker. Also thinking of trading Hopper, Bruin, and a 4-bench rookie to Horn Francis, Chandler, and McKenzie. I prefer your first one, mate, because I think Flanders should go. You got to get Sheasel. And I would be giving Hopper and Bruin another week. I'd back them in for another week and just see how they go. So I wouldn't recommend you doing that second trade this week. That could be a trade for next. But I understand the logic in the first one. I'm giving Wanganeen Miller a second week, but he was quite disappointing. The only thing I'd say with Zeeble is Aaron Hall coming back. That could be something just to keep in mind. I don't know if he's back, but he will be at some stage. Steve, Shorty, so far trades are looking like Bruin, Flanders, and Wanganeen Malira out, and Sheasel, Callan, and either Zeeble or Horn Francis this week. Thoughts? Also thinking Jones is a keep as just a slow build up of cash. Yeah, I can see the thinking with trading Jones and holding him. Would much prefer him to get named this week. That could go a long way to deciding. But I don't mind your trades there, mate. I think you got to have Sheasel. Zeeble, I'd prefer Horn Francis as opposed to Zeeble. I just don't know if Zeeble's absolutely back. And I think Horn Francis he looked insane, didn't he? He looked fantastic. Jonas, Shorty, did you actually watch the Crows-Giants game? Laird was pathetic, totally disinterested and injury affected. Trading before the bleeds cash. I didn't watch it. I was playing tennis, but unless we find out that he is carrying an injury, someone mentioned before he was sick, but unless there's a niggle, I'm keeping him. It was only a week ago he dominated the preseason game. So, nah, I don't lose faith in our absolute super premiums that quick, my friend. Jake, hey BD, what about Tom Cole? I wouldn't rush out the door to bring him in this week, but he was very solid, 78. That'll make us a bit of a cash on the regular. So I'd be happy to just see what he does this week and then maybe bring him in if he backs it up with another 70-plus score. Next week, I'm not sure what to do. Only player that I need to change is Wayne Miller, but the only way I can do anything is by downgrading one of my premiums. I'd probably prefer you to downgrade Miller, if you could. I mean, I don't really want you to get rid of a primo, to be fair. But yeah, I'm sorry, mate. It sounds like you're in a bit of a pickle. Send through any questions if we can help you, mate. Aaron, hey Shorty, Nasai, Wanganeen, Malira, and Cunnington to Dacos and Sheasel with some DPP action. We love some DPP action. Look, it's hard to argue that, mate. It really is. I mean, I'm sitting here giving Cunnington and Wanganeen Malira another week just to see what they can do for me. But you got to get Sheasel. Dacos look great. Yeah, I don't mind it at all. Austin, hey mate, top 5 YouTube content creators. Oh man, jeez, I don't want to rank anyone. Gee whiz, but I love DR. He's a great bloke, and we collab the other way. He's a fantastic fella. Jeremy on the centre bounce. Been in contact with him a bit. He's a really nice guy, and of course George as well. We've done a collab over the journey. SDS SuperCoach and SuperCoach Pro. You might not be as familiar with those, but those couple of guys rocked up to my goal kicking contest the other year. So that was awesome to see, but I'm sure I'm probably leaving some out. The boys at Supercoach Edge and that type of thing. So not ranking them. It's a good old Supercoach community. And I would like to collab with as many of them as possible. So it's always good fun when you can join forces. Galaxy, thoughts on Himmelberg swinging back in defense in the fourth quarter? Yeah, I mean, it's pretty handy if he does that for an extended period of time, but I'm a little bit worried about just that change in position from week to week. Wouldn't it be great if he was just a defender? We'd be loving it, but not to be. Benjamin Butcher. Hey, Shorty, how are you? I'm good, mate. How are you? Hope you're going well. Thoughts on Stewart to Dacos and then Chester to Sheasel playing with DPP? I can do this. If Jones doesn't play, I'll trade Jones to McKenna and then next week get Sheasel. Yeah, I like that, mate. That looks good. Again, with Dacos, you could go Young, you could go Ridley, you could go Ryan, but if Dacos is your preference, gee, he looked great. So, no, I like that. Oh, and you mentioned, would you go Ridley over Dacos? So tough. I'd almost go Hayden Young. I am worried about Dacos getting tagged. Don't get me wrong. I am a little bit worried, but I'm going to have to do some digging of my own, I think. My heart says Young, but I'm going to have a little bit of a think on it as well. Not an easy one. Trav says Chandler, problem is Fritz. Yeah, no, good call, mate. I think he could be out of the team in 2-3 weeks, as good as he was. The Duke, hey, Shorty, is Cunnington a trade? Yeah, look, honestly, he could be. He really could be. Just want to see if the centre bounce attendances are out. I know someone referenced them before, so I feel like they are. Don't know what happened there, mate. I thought he was the most chill option. Just he'd be honest as the day is long. I thought he'd have no headaches about him. But boy, he's given us a headache. Ah, beautiful. They're out. I fucking love centre bounce attendances. North Melbourne. What do we have here? The bigger worry would be if he did have a few. 50% centre bounce attendance, and in front of him was Cobden, Simpkin, and Davies Uniac. Phillips 32%. So they ran a few. They ran heaps through there. Tom Powell, Zohar, Greenwood. You know what? I think he is a trade, mate. I think he is. Whether it's this week or next. That didn't make for nice reading for old Shorty. Angeline, it's great on YouTube, Shorty. Love it, mate. Thank you for your support. O says Liam Jones, Oscar Allen out, McKenna and Rochelle in. Rochelle? That's a name we haven't heard. I don't see any need to bring in Rochelle. I don't even know what he scored. I presumed it was good, hence your interest. But I like getting rid of Allen. Jones, wait and see. Trade, either one's pretty fine. Oh, shit. But no need for Rochelle. I mean, he's still playing that forward line role. I don't think you need to be bringing him in. But if you've got a counter thought, I'd love to hear it as to why you're real keen. Galaxy says Stocker or McKenna. I would lean towards McKenna, more attacking type of defender and cheaper. But you could easily end up with both. But if you had to choose, I'd go McKenna. James, good to see you back on the live, Shorty. What are you listening to? Super self-indulgent. I'm listening to myself. So this just gives me the audio running through just so I know it's coming through nice and clear. That probably wasn't a very exciting answer, was it? But thank you, mate. It's good to have you back as well. Lockie says, hey, Shorty, glad to finally catch one of your streams again. Lovely, mate. Great to see you. Love your content. Just wondering what you think of Flanders to Chandler, Bruin to Horn Francis. If either don't come good this week. Thanks, Dad. Oh, thank you, mate. Great to see you again. I definitely think get rid of Flanders, but I don't reckon Chandler. I know with Fritsch coming back, a few other guys at the Demons, I don't know about his job security. And I would hold on Bruin. I would hold on him. But I reckon Horn Francis will be in a lot of teams come next week. So if you pulled the trigger on that one, I wouldn't hold it against you, but not as big on Chandler. D-Mac says best rookie option out of Cole, Pedler, and Chandler. Rather not go early, but need to get rid of 5. Cole, for sure. I don't think Pedler's got quite the scoring capacity. Again, I didn't catch that game. I know he's more of your key tall, and I'll just check what he did score. And who was your other one you mentioned? Chandler. Well, yeah, I mentioned him just on the job security. Oh, Pedler scored 83, but no, I'd still go Cole. I'd go Cole. Kanga, should I get rid of Grundy and upgrade to Wits? Gee, I thought Brody Grundy played all right, but maybe the role just didn't really correlate. 69. Yikes. Sometimes good numbers, sometimes bad. Yes. Yes is my answer. I didn't really like Grundy as an option just because I wanted to stay away from those demon ruckmans because of the uncertainty around the role and how it all shapes up. And Wits is rock solid. I mean, I love English, I love Marshall. Darcy looked good. Can't remember if he scored well, but yeah, Wits very solid. Theo, how are you, mate? Hayden Young or Dacos or Ridley or Redmond? Bro, that is the question. I tell you, that'll be what's keeping me up the next couple of nights, mate. Something says Hayden Young, and I don't know what it is. Because Ridley has more runs on the board. Dacos is almost more exciting, but I'm worried about the occasional tag. And there's something about Redmond that I just can't bring myself to fully trust him. I don't know what it is. It's a gut feel thing, but yeah, I would go Young. But if you went one of the others, I wouldn't call you crazy. You know what I mean? When do you think I trade Yo in? I currently have Will Day in for him, but trading him out will give me cash for Sheasel. Well, you got to get Sheasel in, but in terms of Yo, we'll just wait and see. Wait and see when he returns. Give him 2 weeks. Once he's on the bubble, we'll most likely snap him up, but no need to rush and get him, but definitely rush and get Sheasel. Skits, sorry, Shorty. Laird burnt me too hard. He's gone. Bro, you're kidding me. Using a boost trade to also give a flick to Jones and Bruin to bring Goulden and Callahan and DeRioli. He's itching for that All-Australian jacket. Oh, no, don't doubt on the All-Australian. He was in the squad last year, wasn't he? But look, do what you will on the others, mate. But Laird, you got to keep him, man. You got to keep him. Come on, bro. This bloke's averaged like 120 plus the last 2 years. He has one bad day and we've booted him. I tell you what. Gee whiz. Steve's just having a bit of a chat to Trav. Galaxy, I started Setterfield, Warple, Zeeble. I'm a happy man. Wow. And Callahan. Jesus, bro. That is some mid-price madness turned an absolute delight. That's gorgeous. GT, should I hold or trade Josh Kelly, Fife Jones, 33K in the bank? Kelly worries me with a concussion. How long will he be out? It's a bit of an unknown. Fife, I'd happily trade. Don't like the role. Didn't like the role. Didn't entertain him at all through preseason. And Jones, I'll just wait on the teams. I think he could be a hold. He's probably not as pressing. If he's named, he's not as pressing to get rid of. But I'd prioritise Kelly and Fife ahead of him. Blacey, hey, Shorty, hope you're well, mate. You too, mate. Thanks for popping in. Cheers for the question. Thoughts on going Jones, Bruin, and Flanders to Ridley or Dacos, Sheasel and McKenna via Davey Jr. Constable DPP. Only thing is puts Radaglia at F6. Yeah, that's true. It might hold you a little bit light on in the forward line, but you got to get Sheasel. I think McKenna's really put his hand up as a must-have rookie priced or around that price player. I'm happy to give Bruin another opportunity, but obviously the whole trades don't work unless you do all of them. I would prefer Dacos over Ridley. I might be in the minority there. But yeah, see what you can do. Honestly, I'm going to give Bruin another shot, but I understand if you need to do it to make the other things work, and you got to get Sheasel. So that's fair call. Mike, not going to run with the last name. Give me my water jug, mate. Oh boy, killed by a bot. Hinkley said he won't tag Dacos. Really? Wow. Okay. Well, that's music to many super coaches' ears. I thought he would have, but there you go. Clutch. I got rid of Cunnington and Jones for Brennan Cox and Callahan. Should I give either of them another week? Look, I think you could give Cunnington another week, but I wouldn't bring in Brennan Cox. I know he looked great, but I just think it's one of those out of the box games. I don't see him being a consistent premium scorer. So I must admit, I don't really like that one. Cunnington, 50% centre bounce attendance. I'd prefer that to be 65 plus. Yeah. I can definitely see the method in trading him. Don't get me wrong. Galaxy, Dacos or Ed Richards? Oh, Dacos every day of the week, mate. Dacos seems obvious, but I don't mind Richards' role and price. Maybe getting too fancy, though. Yeah, I love the out-of-the-box sort of thinking, mate, but I'd definitely go Dacos. Yeah, we don't want to overthink it too much. I think it's just way more reliable. Alexander, what's going on, mate? One of the goal-kicking lads. Sup, Shorty? Rumour has it that young Joseph McGregor will start in this St. Joey's one's backline. Huge news. Is that so? That is massive news if the case. And honestly, I'm not surprised. Came down and had a look at the lad. Can intercept. And not afraid of the gym either. Not afraid of the gym at all, Joey. Say good day to him, mate, too. Max, Horn Francis or Zeeble? I'd go Horn Francis, mate. I just prefer the upside on him. Not as enthused on Zeeble when Hall comes back. Just prefer Horn Francis. Amusement. The Moon told me to trade in Andrew Mackie. Thoughts? Amusement. He could be a few beers deep tonight. I'm just not sure. But he's in form. Clutch is agreeing with the Horn Francis call. Seb, Chesser and Flanders to McKenna and Sheasel. Yeah, that's a pretty good trade. I mean, I'm going to stick with Chesser, but bringing in McKenna and Sheasel is a good call. Hoodie, what's going on, mate? Just when I thought things couldn't get any worse, I captained Josh Kelly and he gets knocked out. My fault, though, had Cripps VC. More of a hope than anything since the shocking week. Oh, no. Bro, that's brutal. There's nothing worse than a captain not firing for us, and that hurts. Oh, mate. Hopefully this week is better for you, my friend. Jonas, short sticks, tic-tac, tock. Sometimes these guys just crack me up, I tell you. Lordy, never mind. Breaking news. Stewart out for 3 to 4. Just came out on the AFL website. Yeah. Man. Yeah, that's brutal. That's brutal. I mean, not a surprise, but he's got to go. Will players go up in price this week or next? They'll go up in price next week. So after 2 games played, their third week, we'll change the price. Hugh, next week. Yep, Lordy. Cheers. Awesome. Luke McMahon, hey, mate. Hey, Shorty, great to meet you on Friday night, mate. Likewise, mate. Appreciate you coming up and saying g'day. That was cool. Wasn't as cool from the Cats' point of view getting over the line, was it? But no, that was nice to meet you, mate. Thank you. Seb says, hold Jones. I'm going to wait on the teams for this one. If he's out, then all of a sudden we might be a little exposed down back. But yeah, I'm leaning towards holding. James says, thoughts on Hopper? I like the role. He didn't play well. Don't get me wrong. He didn't use the ball well, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him score 90 plus this week. I'll be holding him. He's probably the least of my worries at the moment. Zach says, anyone mentioned Dale Dogs yet? No, they haven't, but I'd love to know. I watched this game and he looked like he had his moments, but just didn't have as much rebound. So that was a bit of a blow for anyone who went with Dale as a bit of a point of difference. Clutch says, I got rid of Cunnington and Jones for Callahan and Brennan Cox. I think I answered that one before, mate, so hopefully you heard that one. Josh, I got in Callahan, Sheasel, and Horn Francis. Thoughts? Yeah, it's hard to argue with that. I'm a big fan of Horn Francis. I'm probably going to wait to see how he goes this week, but I couldn't argue with it. He looked great, didn't he? That third quarter was outstanding. Aaron, Ash, Laird, Jones for Dacos, Cogs, and Goulden. I don't want you to trade Laird. I mean, those ins are great. Don't get me wrong, but I really am saying keep Laird. You know what I mean? But if those three blokes are an outcome of it, it's not too bad. But I'm telling you, I'm saying keep Laird. That'd be my advice. Steve, out of Flanders, Bruin, and Wanganeen Malira, who do I give one more week? Who was that? Flanders, Bruin. Not Flanders. He'd be one of my first to go. I'd be out of Bruin and Wanganeen Malira. I'll probably give Bruin the one more week, mate. Yeah. Blake, Dacos or Cogs for Josh Kelly? Definitely Canelio. I think he's going to average more. He's in that must-have forward category. Dacos may well be, but I still think we would preference Canelio over him. Lordy, Shorty, what do you think on the ruck issue? I have Rowan Marshall and Sam Draper, with Drapes probably average 85, but I don't want English as he is inconsistent. He would get 130, then 50. Gone, question mark. I'm not sure why you dislike Timmy English. I mean, he had a rough year last year with some injury and, but I honestly would be backing Tim English in. I mean, Gawn, yeah, he played very well. I've been sort of steering clear of that Melbourne ruck department just because of the uncertainty. I don't know whether those roles will change within a game and throughout the season. I've got a lot of time for Tim English, mate. It might not be what you want to hear, but he'll average 110 this year. Don't you worry. Josh, Steve, give Wanganeen one more week out of those three. Yeah, look, mate, I hope you're right, Josh, because I need him to fire up. JRB, what's going on, mate? He says, worth burning another trade and downloading a high-priced rookie to turn Stewart into Doherty, or just one trade for Young? Oh, really? Can't you go Stewart to Doherty? Is it like... I'm a confused man. Because can't you just go Stewart into Doherty just with one trade? Or you want a high-priced rookie? I'm with you. Yeah, probably depends on the rookie, mate. You got to have Sheasel, you got to have a McKenzie. McKenna looks lockable. So it might depend on the specifics there, but I like Doherty or Young. So I think they're both good options. Galaxy, how good was that tackle on Ollie Henry right in front of the goal? Spice were bloody awesome, mate. That crowd went off. I haven't heard a crowd go off like that for something other than a goal for a long time. GT, who would you trade Josh Kelly to, up or down? I mean, Tom Green is a great option. LDU around that sort of price. In terms of going up, then you probably got a few options. I'll just quickly have a look for you. I mean, Brayshaw scored 70. Wow, that is so surprising with all those touches. Rightio. Yeah, I almost feel like you'd go down from him to like even if you want to do Cornelio and switch him forward. But otherwise, yeah, you definitely want to go all the way up to probably a McRae or something like that if you wanted to go up. Kanga, who do I replace Stewart with? There are too many options. Yeah, that's fair. I would go, well, hey, what's up? I would probably go, my number one would be Doherty. And on the lower end of things, I would go Hayden Young. So, yeah. Caitlin, what's up?
Not much yourself?
Not much. I don't mean to alarm you, but you are reflecting on the screen in the mirror. So put your clothes back on. Yeah, so sorry about that. Yeah, you're out of the mirror now. Most welcome. Josh, just having a chat with him there. Jackson, hey Shorty, what are your thoughts on trading Tom Stewart and Jones out for Sicily and a cash cow rookie? Yeah, I don't mind that, mate. I think probably depends on the rookie, but definitely a McKenna or see how Cole goes. But yeah, I think Sicily or Dawson or Doherty, they're all great options. GT says Josh Kelly to Cogs. Thoughts? Yep, love it. I think Canelio's a lock for top 3 or 4 forward, so you can definitely go with him. Josh says keep Wangani Malira, bro. He's 300k cheap. Yeah, I hope so, mate. I hope so. I need him to respond, I tell you. Xavier says, hey, Shorty, thoughts on going bold and moving on Laird as he is 206 break even, which could mean a drop in value. Xavier, nah, mate. I know it's risky, he says, but could open the door for 2 premiums. Yeah, look, if you're desperate for some cash, mate, but I just think it's a waste of a trade, to be honest. I think you just keep Rory Laird. He's a gun. He'll respond. He could come out and score 125 this week. Super easy. So he's a keep for me, but there are a few people trading him, it would seem. What's going on out there, Caitlin? What's going on there in the world?
Not much. Just had dinner.
Oh, what'd you make?
Pasta. Jess is looking for a jug of water.
Your jug's in here, mate. Sorry, Jess. Is Jess still around?
Yeah, I think so.
Hi, Jess. Fair enough. Shit. Okay. Noah, thoughts on keeping or trading Fife? I would probably trade him, mate. I hate the role he's playing. You know, you're just going cold down there, and the weekend was probably the worst of it. So yeah, if I were you, I'd be looking to switch him over to like a Horn Francis or something like that. He'll play some good footy, but I just don't like the role. Johnny B. Ryan scored 156 against the Saints in round 2 last year, then scored consecutive 70s round 3 or 4. Let's all calm down. Yeah, I tend to agree, mate. I think he probably more fits in that 6 to 12 top defender, mid to high 90s averager. Like, it's good, but I don't see him pumping out 170s all too regularly, or whatever it was. Gergis, Liam Jones in or out? I just want to wait on the teams, just see if he's named. Leaning towards a hold, but yeah, probably just going to need to see the teams for that one. But I'll do a preview towards the end of the week once we do have the teams and give you a bit more of an idea. Shelley Bean, hey Shorty, who do you reckon is your VC and C? For me, I think C. VC on Laird, debating between C on Bont against the Saints or Sean Darcy. Oh, gee, haven't really thought on that yet. Probably, I mean, Dunkley's a bloke that I don't mind putting the VC on. Could be a chance. I mean, same token, you could go Oliver on that night as well. Yeah, there'd probably be my 2 ones. And then, yeah, probably turn it into a Bontempelli as well. But, yeah, I don't mind you thinking there. I might assess the rucks as well, whether there's like a bit of a weak spot on the rucks. Oh, man, Marshall and English are going head-to-head. That's not ideal. GRB, typical Perth, 36 degrees at 5:30 p.m. Good beer drinking weather. Well, you're going better than me, mate. It was about 21 today. So, Benjamin, Liam Jones is my only concern. I have all the essential rookies, but I think it's so valuable being able to trade now before price change. Would you meddle if you had no forced changes? If you had no forced changes, I'd almost leave it. Let's see if he gets named. He could come out and score like 86, mate. He could be a handy option still, even though it'll be a slow burn, but he'll drop that 5 quicker than he would if he did it in his second game, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, worth persisting. And if you got no other issues, mate, well, you're doing far better than me, so that's good. When do prices change? After 2 games. So they'll play their 3rd game, and then the prices will change. So you want to get people in before round 3, before that price change. Frank, what's going on, mate? Hey, Shorty, do I keep Nasai Wanganeen Malira after picking him up on your advice? Yeah, my apologies, mate. He's got 20 possessions, but he butchered the ball. Also, on kick-ins, he kicked the bball from inside the goal square. Yeah, I know. How frustrating is that? You take the kick, you just want him to stroll out a couple of meters, don't you? I'd hold him for now, mate. Give him another chance. Put the trust in him. I desperately need him to bounce back. Otherwise, I've let down a significant amount of people. So we'll see how we go. Tone, should I trade Ollie Hollands on field into Callahan? I reckon Callahan is only going to get better. Yeah, if you said to me Callahan or Hollands, I'd definitely go Callahan, but there's a little bit of a mini upgrade in that, isn't there? So if you can do it without burning too many other bridges, yeah, I'd probably do that. What are you making of all this, Caitlin? Do you think this is solid advice?
Yeah, I just like how you said you don't want to let down too many people.
You think I let people down? What the fuck? Have I ever let you down?
No comment. Are you doing the quiz tonight?
No quiz tonight. I forgot to make one.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I don't know. I'm a working man now. It's full time. It's hard, you know.
You're gonna lose followers.
Fuck. I did think about it on the drive home. I was like, fuck, I haven't done a quiz. My bad. I'll make sure I got a quiz for next week. Josh, think I made a mistake on picking up Ben King. Thoughts? Yeah, I'd probably agree, mate. Big key forward coming back from a long-term injury is pretty tough. So, yeah, I would try to get rid of him if you can. Hopefully, there are a couple of good options around for you. Ben King has to go, in my opinion. Yeah, I agree. Thoughts on Liam Stocker from Josh as well? Didn't mind him at all. He really racked it up. It just looked like he floated around, got some pretty solid possessions. I just want to see what he does again this week, but I liked him. And in terms of Stocker versus Cole, I would go Stocker. I think he's just a slightly more of a ball gatherer than Cole, but both were solid on the weekend. Jonas, Shorty, why didn't Barbie get pregnant? Because Ken came in a different box. It's not bad. That's not bad from you, Jonas. Fuck, there's some loose units out here, Caitlin. I'm telling you. Tone, Young had a lot of contested marks. Yeah, that's true. And a few intercepts as well, I think. So, it's going to be tough to split like Dacos, Ridley, Young. But we got some big decisions to make. My league doesn't start to round 3, and I don't really care on my end ranking. So do you think I make trades in order to make money for round 3 or act like it's head-to-head for round 2 and do normal trades? I would still try and set your team up as best you can from a money point of view, because even though you don't care about rank, you'll do better in your head-to-head league if you get yourself all cashed up. It'll help you upgrade as the weeks go on. Brad, thoughts on just the one trade this week, Chesser to Euland or McElhaney to play D6 instead of Cowan, who will move to the bench? So did Euland score all right, did he? Oh, 59. Yeah, righto. I wouldn't trade Chesser to Euland, to be honest. I would leave it. You could definitely put McElhaney on the bench. I think he's got reasonable potential to score, but we're still working those rookies out. It's so hard to tell if they're going to be good job security, good scorers. It was just one game, so I wouldn't jump to too many conclusions just yet. Josh is back talking about Dan Rioli. Look, he's solid. He's not one I'd jump at. He's in that similar price range to Ridley, Dacos, Young, etc. So I'd prefer those other guys, but if you want to point a difference, he's pretty solid. Kanga, who do I captain? Witts, Clary, Bont, Laird, or Tom Green? Who do the Gold Coast Suns have? Essendon. I would go Oliver, mate. I'd just keep it simple. He's as reliable as they come, so I'd go him. Tone, surely Fife plays in the guts this week. Well, maybe, but I'd probably if you're a betting man, I'd say no. He trained all preseason as a forward. That's how they've gone in with it. I think they'll give it at least another week or two. Stephen, keep Fife against North. I'll get rid of him now. I'm leaning on getting rid of him, to be honest. I just didn't like that role at all, mate. So I think if you want to give him another week, I don't blame you, but such a tough spot to play forward, particularly in the way they move the ball. So leaning towards trade on that one. Galaxy, should I field Ashcroft or Constable this week? I would still field Ashcroft. I would still field him. I think he's still a better option. Tone, I'm waiting for Heath Chapman. Heath Chapman, that's a name I didn't expect to get mentioned tonight. There you go. Josh is pumping the questions. I had Tom Stewart and Ridley. Should I trade Stewart in for Doc or Nick Dacos and keep the 100K? I would prefer Doherty, but it probably depends on if you can spend the 100K elsewhere or if you've got like a desperate need to spend it otherwise. But if you don't, I would just go with Doherty. He's definitely the better option head-to-head. Aaron, thoughts on Goda/Ashcroft? I got nothing to worry about with Ashcroft. Goda, maybe some concern with Aaron Hall coming back. He didn't exactly set the world on fire, so maybe some concern, but just wait and see on the teams for that one, really. But, yeah, I wouldn't get too worried about Ashcroft at all, mate. Oh, shit. Yikes. Gee, I'm not going to get through all these questions, guys. This is a disaster. James says you look a little stoned tonight. Jesus Christ. I did forget to make the quiz, mate. I'm so sorry. It won't happen again. Oh, actually, maybe I am half a chance to get through the questions. Shit. Maybe I am stoned. I don't know.
Maybe.
Just if anyone from work's watching, I'm not. Amusement. My air conditioner traded out lead because he doesn't like you. I reckon amusement could be stoned. Josh just says reply. Josh, I'm getting to him, mate. Calm down, brother. James, who would you rather have, Cogs or Goulden? I prefer Cornelio, but probably if Goulden turned up again, you'd almost go Goulden because we're probably not going to be able to get him at this price for much longer. So wait and see what Goulden does this week. Then we have Galaxy. Do you agree with prices staying the same until third game? I think I'd rather prefer them changing from round one like BBL. No, I like it, mate. I'm happy with it. I reckon it goes all right. It sort of gives us a bit of a chance to plan and do a few correctional trades. So, yeah, I don't mind it. Thoughts on McDonald's adding the new Shortano McBroccoli? Oh, bro. Sometimes I just don't know what you're talking about. What are you going on about, bro? What are they doing up there in Gold Coast, mate? Josh, I had Tom Stewart. Oh, yeah, I think I answered that one, mate, so hopefully you're still listening. Oh, here's James. Hey there, Shorty. Great to see you, brother. Got hit by Stewart and Jones train last weekend, and I traded Callahan out for Jones via Constable. Ouch. Stewart has to go, but should I hold Jones? Nah, fair call, mate. That's pretty brutal. I'm right with you there. I had both of them as well. I would probably hold Jones. It's probably a different question if he's not named, but I would hold him. So wait on those team sheets. If not, maybe we entertain like a Stocker or a Tom Cole, Connor McKenna kind of deal. But at the moment, I'm thinking hold him. Jonas, Shorty, what do you call... Here we go. These cunts telling me jokes all the time. What do you call a smiling Roman soldier with a piece of hair stuck between his front teeth? No, can't, bro. You're fucked. I can't read some of these out, mate. James, sorry if you have already spoken about it, just jumped on. No worries, James. Fine, mate. Thanks for jumping on board, man. Josh, I had Tom Stewart. Josh is pumping the question. I'll get to it, Josh, mate. I got to it, mate. So hopefully you're listening. Josh hit me with like the same question about 4 times and a reply. Amusement. Fuck, there is fine looking specimen on the screen right now. I think that was you. Or was it me? I'll take it, mate. Field, Alan Davey or Fergus Green, assuming both play. By the way, you better say Davey up the Bombers. Ideally, I wouldn't field either, to be honest. But if I had to, yeah, I would probably say Davey. But ideally, we keep both of those guys on our bench. Hudson Matthews, who to trade 5 to? Probably Horn Francis. You got to free up a bit of cash, I guess. So if you can't do that, then yeah, we've probably got something else to think about. Probably depends on your team, but I'd try and get Horn Francis in or juggle it around. Maybe go down to Sheasel, but you probably already have him. But let me know if you got a bit of cash free. Brad's back now. What I think about now that I think about it, I might just trade Hopper for Warple and Bruin for Jason Horn Francis. I think their roles and time on ground, they'll be better in the long run for scores and cash generation. Fair enough, mate. Look, I totally get you with the Bruin Horn Francis. I might do that in a week anyway. But I'm backing Hopper in, mate. I think he'll bump out 90 this week. Don't worry about it. But I understand that he did let us down. So and Warple's solid as well. So you're probably not losing anything except a trade. But I'm backing Hopper in. Steve says, who are you targeting for next week and who are you getting in this week? Probably this week I'll be like Hayden Young or Nick Dacos or something like that for Stewart. But the week after, I definitely, so on my chopping block is Wangani Malira, Cunnington, and Bruin. And probably Goulden is in that mix to get. Jason Horn Francis is in that mix to get. And then maybe someone like Warple. But I might not be able to do it all. I think it'll be tight on the cash, but that is sort of how I'm looking at the moment, mate. Collier says Cogs or LDU. I'd probably go Cogs, mate, just because you can swing him forward and he's a must-have in the forward line. LDU, as good as he is, not necessarily a must-have in the midfield. Will Hughes, hey, George. Would you be more willing to trade Flanders or Hoppers next week? Or Hopper, if they both score similar? More so Flanders, mate. I've got more faith in Hopper. I don't mind the hey, George. Rocky, what do you think about Stewart for Luke Ryan and Liam Jones for McKenna? I definitely like the second one. Again, you might hold him if he's named. I prefer others than Luke Ryan, I must admit. I prefer Young, Ridley even over him, but that's not to bag Luke Ryan out because he has been a really consistent scorer over the years. I'm just slightly preferring some others. Lordy says, is Bontempelli what we thought he was? He only went to 70% of CBAs. Someone I'm keeping an eye on is Parrish, up to 37. I think he'd go 120. No, Bont was fine, mate. I mean, you're not often going to go to too much more than 70% centre bounce. They did have him forward a little bit. I think it was in the third or last quarter. But I thought Bont looked great. I mean, he started the game well. I've got no worries about Bontempelli. Jaden, hey, Shorty, sorry if you've answered already, but thoughts on holding Josh Kelly? What would you do with him? That's all right, mate. I did touch on this one a few times. It's a popular question. I am leaning towards trading him. I'm a little bit worried with the concussion and how long he could be out for. I mean, we saw Tim English last year. It was going to be 1 week, then it's 2, then it's 3. So that'd be my only suggestion there. He also says, what would you do with Hopper this week? Hold, mate. The role was good. His performance was not. So I think he'll have better days than the other week. I'm holding him. Steve says I'm eyeing off Horn Francis, Zeeble, and Dacos for next week. Yeah, don't mind that. Not as big on Zeeble, but definitely understand the love for the others. Director Cogger. What a name. A bit going on here, Shorty. Loving the variety stream this week. It's got a bit all mouthing, water jug, theft, and primo chat. Mate, that's what we're bringing, bro. That is what we're bringing to the table. Chad, thoughts on bringing in Chad Winger? Yeah, don't mind that, Chad, but maybe not the best for your Supercoach team. JRB, thinking Thursday night Doherty VC into Oliver, but versus Cats concerns me. Yeah, I probably wouldn't go Doherty for VC, mate. I'd probably just go Oliver VC and then take a pick with someone else. Doherty's a gun, but yeah, I don't think against the Cats. Yeah, I'd probably prefer to go other ways, but times 2, thoughts on Horn Francis and Hopper. Very popular one, this. I think I'll probably bring in Horn Francis either this week or next. Wouldn't mind seeing what he's got for round 2. Just get a bit of a body of work for it. But Hopper, I'm keeping him, mate. I'm backing him in. So I reckon he can still go 90 plus, even though he wasn't that great last week. Tone, I'm scared the Tigers will give Horn Francis a lot of attention this week. Well, that's it, mate. He might. We'll find out. That's why I'm probably holding off just to see. But gee, he was pretty unstoppable the way he was bursting out of stoppages the other week, just brushing Lockie Neal off. That was pretty hectic. Oh, there's James. There's a comment I read that before. Love your work even more if you're streaming cooked. This guy's crazy. Look, now I'm feeling bad about the quiz, mate. Fuck. Yeah, a couple of guys let me know about it. Jackson Lewis, thoughts on Bruin to Sheasel? I'm giving Bruin one more week, but if you don't have Sheasel, then I totally understand that. We probably will only go another 5 or 10, but I've nearly caught up. Shorty's really raced it back here. Devil, is it worth making a move to get McKenna? I think it probably is. Nothing crazy, mate, but I do feel like McKenna is going to be a guy that makes us a lot of cash. Luke McMahon says, Shorty, what was your favourite game of round 1? Round 1, what was my favourite? Let's have a look at the old schedule. Certainly wasn't round 1, mate, on the bloody Friday night. That was savage. I didn't see all of it, but North Melbourne West Coast was. I actually quite liked seeing North have a bit of a hard fought win there, but yeah, it was. Even though the Cats lost, it was great to be at the G, I must admit. Andrew Hampton, do you think Bruin is a must trade? Nah, not a must trade, mate. He got roasted last week with Parfitt coming on. It wasn't ideal. Don't be surprised if he has a better game this week, but if he doesn't, then yeah, clearly we turf him. So that's the approach I'm going. Give him another week, see what he does. Pretty simple after that. Devil goes on. If Jason Horn Francis turns up again this week, is moving sideways from Hopper/Bruin the right option, or don't buy the hype and keep the faith? Definitely the right option for Bruin. I'm a big believer in Hopper, unless he dished up another 60. It's a different question then, but yeah, if Horn Francis backs it up and Bruin doesn't, yeah, definitely trade. Axel, is Laird a must trade, and how much does Bruin need to score to keep him in compared to Horn Francis? Nah, keep Laird, mate. Absolutely keep him. Can't believe some people are trading him out. The bloke's averaged 120 last 2 years, bro. Keep him. And I'd want to see 85 plus from Bruin. Yeah, I feel like he has to nudge that 90 at the least. But if Horn Francis came out and did 120 again, Bruin might have no choice. He might have to go. Here's another joke. Here we go. Why do walruses love a Tupperware party? They're always on the lookout for a tight seal. It's not bad. That's not bad. Amusement, is Peppa Pig frightening? I don't know. How do you think of these things, man? I just don't know how you do it. Jonas, hey, short stick. When are you getting Liam and Damo from SuperCoach Edge on the live stream next week? Bro, they didn't respond to me last message. I was in consultation over Instagram. Might have to hit him up again. I'm not against a triple message on any social media platform, so I might hit him up again. Xavier, Shorty, you're looking extra fine tonight. Thanks, mate. Did my hair extra nice tonight, just for you. Amusement. What hair product have you implemented tonight? Couldn't tell you, mate. It's top secret stuff. But if I catch up in Gold Coast, mate, I might. I'll bring you a little tub. Jackson, thoughts on Steele? Yeah, he was okay. I mean, 90's all right. We probably would like a little bit more this week. Otherwise, it gets a little bit awkward. But the role seemed good. Didn't tackle as much as maybe he has previously. So at the moment, I feel like he's the least of my concerns. So, Lordy, thoughts on Parrish? Nah, not. Look, he's a gun, but just the body concerns me a little bit. And the ability to get tagged out of a game, like brutally. We've seen that happen. I know Merritt got tagged on the weekend. I'm happy to play around him. I'm happy to go with others. Andrew, g'day, Shorty. Hope you're well, mate. Likewise, my friend. Hope you're doing all right. Thanks for jumping on. I'm currently munching on a filthy Macca's feed. First week of SuperCoach made me want to kick a brick wall with coins between my toenails. That's one way to say it, mate. Yeah, don't mind the cheeky Macca's feed either, mate. Hopefully this week is better for us because that was a rough way to start, wasn't it? That was bloody tough. JRB, do Saints tag Bont or at least try to? I'd say they probably try to. Like Windhager normally is a guy I feel like he probably comes in. So, yeah, maybe. But Bontempelli is he's looking great. I know it wasn't his best score on the weekend, but backing him in. Steve, another stream this Thursday for teams. Oh, mate, I think I can only get the one stream for a week. I'll be at the footy on Thursday night, but I'll be watching those teams pretty close. I'm traveling up on the train. Hey, Squirt, who do you go for? I'll go for the Cats, mate. Go for the Cats. Amusement, nice quiz tonight, champ. Gee, they're getting savage now. Jackson says thoughts on Jones to McKenna. Yeah, I don't mind it. Like I'm leaning towards keeping him, but I think McKenna could also prove a guy that we need to get in. So definitely understand your thinking. Lordy, you're getting together with Supercoach DR? Supercoach with DR? Yeah, I'm hoping to. We chat every now and then. So obviously we collabed through pre-season. So yeah, I'd definitely like to do that again. Jason says VC on Gorn this week. They've got the Lions, I'm pretty sure. They do. Yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with that, mate. He's always a good chance to go big. Where was I up to? Oh, DMAC. Thoughts on trading Laird for Relton Roberts? For a sec, I thought you were serious, DMAC. Come on, man. Xavier, thinking Dunkley early VC. Yeah, I don't mind that. I had a question on that before, and I mentioned Dunkley as well for my VC. I think a little bit point of difference as well as opposed to Oliver. So, yeah, I like that. Liney, thoughts on bringing in Dale or Dawson for Stewart? We wouldn't bring in Dale off the back of a 50, mate, but definitely Dawson. Also, what's your go-to pub feed? Love the channel, mate. I like this left field comment. So you'd think Shorty's a bit of a palmy guy, but no. He's a bit of a nuzzy goring operator, or or if you got a pasta, just throw that at me, or a curry. I can be swayed for a curry. But probably most recently, I just slammed a southern fried chicken burger. Yeah, with a side of Coke. It was quite nice. Jackson. I answered Jackson's question. It hits me with a cheers pipsqueak. Gosh, the disrespect. James, do we need to get Chandler yet? I'm going to wait and watch one more week. Chester to Fergus looks like a trade swap. Who would be the one? No, I'd hold out on Chandler, mate. I mean, you got Fritsch coming back, a few other Ds coming back. I know he was good, but I feel like job security is probably iffy. And I would prefer to put my faith in Chesser ahead of Green, but both were pretty underwhelming, weren't they? So hopefully we see a bit more this week. Lordy says thoughts on Mason Cox. Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of him when he was tearing the Cats apart on Friday. But yeah, we're definitely not considering for Supercoach, are we? Buckaroo, thoughts on Tipper as a smoky for Supercoach? Now I know you're taking the piss. Come on, mate. James, Timmy Tomatoes for VC. These guys lost the plot. They've lost the plot now. It's past 9 o'clock and they've lost it. Shorty, when no one comes to the kicking comp. This is just bullying now. This is savage. Liney also says, what's your VC score that a player has to go? Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I agree. I'm almost 125. I want them to hit 125 or above. Otherwise, it's so awkward. But if they scored 124, I'd probably take it, because I have been burnt when you get greedy and then your captain just gets tagged or gets injured and you're kicking yourself. Andrew, it's a Palmer champ. Come on, bro. It's Palmy. Jesus. You call it Palmy, don't you? Fuck, are you serious? What are they doing in Colac? Far out. All right, guys. Pump the comments. There's 54 of you online now. I'm going to wind it up in a couple of minutes, but hit me with Palmy or Palmer. Gosh, I'll be disappointed if I lose out here. Jonas is giving a Palmer and Amusement's giving a Palmer. Fuck, this is savage. Tone's going McGrath as a pod. I wouldn't mind seeing him do it again. I feel like you're better off paying an extra 20K for a Ridley, Dacos, Young.
It's only Geelong they call it Palmy.
And Adelaide, I think.
Yeah, pretty much just us two.
Do you want to go to the footy Thursday night?
No, I've got wedding prep.
Oh, no worries then. That's fine. Cool. I'll chat to you later then. Ryan, Hayden Young or Dacos for Stewart? I'm in the Hayden Young camp, mate, but only just. Oh, Lukey boy, Nick Dacos was fantastic. The way he uses the ball, mate, is very impressive. I was a bit surprised the Cats I wasn't surprised, but they just let him do whatever he wanted, really. Andrew, mate, the amount of people calling it Parmo, surely that's a typo. I'm going to say that was Palmer. Is the same amount of people that show up to kick the footy with a creepy bloke. Well, that's just hurtful, Andrew. But here you are chatting to me on a childish little Tuesday night. Nah, thanks, Lordy. Appreciate it, mate. D-Mac, Shorty should make a pub golf tournament. Wouldn't be the worst, would it? I don't know. Sometimes I just say things, guys. I don't know what to say. All right, here we go. Palmer. Xavier with the Palmy. Nice. Nate says, Shorty, best Palmer on the Ballerine. From a guy who said he mainly has pastas and curries, this is going to test me. Where did I go the other day? The Cremorne on Paco looked pretty nice. My mate had it and it looked great. And also the Valley Inn, I had that the other day. And that was good. Had a great palmy. There's another palmy from Ryan. Amusement says Palmer. I'm sick of this bloke. Palmer from Jake. Palmer from Jackson. Frank says Palmer. James is hungry. Jonas, it's palm him. Fuck me. These fucking cards. JG, Shorty got rejected to the footy like TJ got rejected to the barbecue. Yeah, that is some of the funniest footage you'll ever see. Theo, you like Ed Richards? I like him. I do. I wouldn't go out of my way to bring him in. I think there's some better options. There's another Palmer. Jonas. We should have a Palmer and pint night somewhere this year. We could probably pack out a pub somewhere, get on it, bro. That's not the worst idea, James. I'll just throw out a pub and, Caitlin, you coming along to the Palmy night? Cool. Yeah. Awesome. Nice. I'll do 2 more questions. I think we got 1 or 2. Thoughts on Zeeble? I'll definitely cover him a bit, Jackson, later in the week, but a bit concerned about when Hall comes back. I'm happy to play around him at the moment, but that role did look a bit better. And do we have 1 more question? Nice, Andrew. Rate that. Good stuff. Well, amusement, Shorty. Streaming from the pub would be absolute content. Be sucking on a cruiser. Well, that might do me, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks heaps for jumping on. If you've been on for the whole time, you're a legend. If you popped in throughout, I appreciate it. Would love some feedback on how the TikTok and YouTube live at the same time went. It was pretty high tech from Shorty. But yeah, I'm probably going to watch some on the couch, AFL 360, and I might even run myself a bath maybe. Nah, I probably won't do that, but and Henry just hits me with a Palmer just to finish. That hurts. No worries. Thanks, guys. So for the rest of the week, I'll have preview for the teams when they drop. And also on TikTok, I'll reveal me trades. But obviously, I'll talk about those in the preview anyway. And then, yeah, we'll do it all again. Thanks heaps, guys. Do you like bubbles in the bath? Of course I do, Aiden. Of course, mate. All right. Thanks heaps, David. Cheers, James. Jackson, good stuff. I'll talk to you all later. Thanks, guys. Oh, mashed potatoes jumps on right at the end. Sorry, brother. Oh, no.